Waiting on you to ask me a question.
All right, just tell us who you are, where you're from, and why and how you came to Detroit 2013.
My name is Matt Burkholz, Brooklyn, New York, Bedford-Stuyvesant. Bedford-Stuyvesant, the livest one of my boroughs, thorough. I came in part because I was part of the National Planning Committee or Organizing Committee, whatever it's called. And you know, so for the technical reasons, that's why. But I'm here because I'm interested in deepening and furthering questions around what visionary organizing is and what it looks like. And I'm interested in how a particular set of questions in relationship to what does it mean to grow our souls? What does it mean to put love and growing our souls at the center of political practice? I'm interested in collectively pursuing those questions and also learning and thinking and asking questions about what those questions mean for specific geographic locales with specific histories. And I'm interested in learning about a set of principles that might be applied regardless of location, in ways that practices can't be applied across location, and how we might develop practices from a common set of principles. That and I'm also here because I have a responsibility to play a role in participating in processes and making decisions that will determine, you know, not just the future of the country I live in, but also the world. Because what happens in this country is very important to what happens in the rest of the world. And I saw coming here and playing the role that I played here, part of assuming that responsibility.
So what are some of the things, I mean, I haven't had much time to reflect on what I've learned yet, but if you have even a little bit, what are some of the things you've learned in the past few days?
One of the most important things I've learned is the importance of watching and learning from people. And watching and observing in particular to say, wow, she raised an excellent question. I need to tell her that she raised an excellent question because she needs to be aware that she has a contribution to make to creating this space, and by extension, you know, affecting change on the space, and by extension, cities and countries and so forth. That's one of the most important things I've learned is the importance of helping people understand not only their responsibility to contribute, but their ability to. I've learned how important it is to lead with vulnerability. And that we have to ask questions about how we make that okay. How to create spaces in which we don't need to have answers, but are free to raise whatever questions we have. I've learned that creating a revolutionary culture in this country is as much about creating spaces in which people can live with their hearts as it is anything else. And that love and recognition is very, very important. I'm sure I've learned other things, but that's what comes to mind.
So how are you going to take what you've learned these past few days and do things new or different or the same when you get back to Brooklyn?
Man, you asking a hard question. You ain't tell me you was going to ask a hard question. One of the things I'll do is begin to implement some of the things we practice in the self-care workshop. Trying to participate with men in a conversation about self-care is very difficult. But if I can offer a practice of what it looks like and just simply practice it with them, the conversation becomes less difficult because it becomes less important. If I can sit down and say, brother, let me be present for you for 3 minutes. What's on your heart? I don't have to have a conversation about, brother, you need to take care of yourself, because I've created a space in which that just happens. So I think that's one thing that I'll do, or try to do. It'll take some courage to do that, but I'm going to try to muster it and try to begin to make that practice regular. Because I think that's very, very important, and I found that workshop very, very
Ooh, so just one last question for you.
I hope it's not as hard as that.
No, it's not. Well, maybe you'll be the judge of that. It's like 6 or 7 or 8 months from now. Okay. We're starting the pub for Detroit 2014. You've got 30 seconds to pitch to people who haven't been here yet, who are on the fence, who are like, should I come to Detroit? 30 seconds to tell them why they need to be at Detroit 2014.
Excuse me, that one is hard. Because never will you experience a more transformative form of exhaustion in your life. Come because it is here where we learn to struggle patiently as we become citizens of the new country and world that we have yet to create. To paraphrase something Vince Harding said. To use my own language. Man, this is where we learn. Because come here because you're going to have a chance to learn what your contribution to creating the world anew might be. Come here because you can see yourself. You can exist in a space where you come to see yourself as responsible and having a role to play, a creative role to play in creating the world anew.
Good. Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome. Thank you.